y'all, it's been a super duper busy day, so I have not been able to get online to talk about some things today, and this will probably be my only video that I do today because, yeah, I still got a bunch of work left to do. But I took a break and I came across this interview that Donald Trump Jr. did with Kaitlyn Collins after the vice presidential debate the other night. And baby, when I tell you that Kaitlyn Collins slayed Donald Trump Jr., she asked him a variety of questions. Here's the first exchange.
Do you think he was more comfortable in those issues than your dad was in the last debate?
Well, I don't think, it wasn't necessarily a 3-on-1 debate. It started that way. I think J.D. Vance shut that down, and there were rules, and we said they should be enforced. Those rules were not enforced with my father. I think what happened in his debate was absolutely disgusting, and I think the American people witnessed that. I think they saw the bias that's out there in the media. I think they see that we are literally up against $1 trillion of mainstream media. You're up against $1 trillion of big tech functioning as the marketing department for the other side. But the reality is, Kaitlyn, the world is watching what's going on right now. They see it when they go to the grocery stores on a daily basis. They watch Iran, not through proxies, but directly attacking Israel right now. We could be on the brink of World War III. You notice how those things didn't happen under Donald Trump. You may not like everything that he says. You may not always like his demeanor. But the dictators of the world understood strength. They understood the resolve that we saw after he got shot in the face coming back to fight. And they didn't trifle with that. We've been leading with incompetence and weakness for 4 years. The world has watched, and they've capitalized on that. Our enemies, Iran, wants Kamala Harris to be president. They've said that. They've leaked documents to her, stolen from our campaign, that they hacked. Russia has said they want Kamala Harris to be president because a weak America is good for Russia. A weak America is good for Iran, and a weak America is great for China, all of whom are chomping at the bit for a Harris-Walz administration and the continuation of the Biden policies that have failed America for the last 3.5 years.
Well, and I should note, when you talk about Iran, I mean, Iran did hit American troops when your dad was in office. I covered that, and today he was asked about that. He likened the traumatic brain injuries.
Kaitlyn said, well, you know what Iran did when your father was in office? Yeah, they did this, and this. And when he was asked about the situation earlier today during a press conference, he likened their injuries to headaches. There's more.
But on the debate itself, it was very civil. I mean, they acknowledged when they agreed, they gave each other the benefit of the doubt. Should we see more of that on the debate stage when your dad's up there?
You know what? I'd love to see that across the board. Sometimes the political climate isn't that much. We've all heard about Trump derangement syndrome. We've seen what they've lied about to my family. I was an agent of Russia, but Hunter Biden's laptop was totally Russian disinformation. Turns out the opposite was true. The media did that. They created so much of that environment. The media has radicalized the people that are trying to kill my father. I've had to deal with that twice now in the last 2 months. I've had to have that conversation with my 5 young children twice in the last 2 months about someone trying to shoot their grandfather. That didn't just magically happen. That's not him. That's a media-created fake Russia scenario. They ran with it for years. Even when it was disproven, they still ran with it. That environment wasn't just created by Donald Trump.
Okay, but can I say, you can't blame, and everyone wants your dad to be safe. No one wants the threats against his life to happen.
Here it comes.
The media for those threats. There's been no evidence. That's what drove those.
And allows people to have a platform to call someone literally Hitler every day for 9 years. It creates it. Okay. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's a fact.
But as you know, J.D. Vance once likened your dad to Hitler as well. He questioned if he was America's Hitler.
Baby, Kaitlyn was not with the shits with this interview right here. There's more.
The reality is this. What's unique about this election is you had 4 years under Trump. You had 4 years under Harris Biden. We know the policies are going to be the same because she cut and pasted them onto her webpage and didn't even change the source code. So you can have more of the last 4 years, or we can go back to a time of peace and prosperity. It's a very simple choice.
But
people can go into a grocery store today. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? And the answer is no.
On your argument about your dad doing another debate, obviously he has said right now that he thinks another debate would be too late. But is he letting J.D. Vance, his running mate, would be his vice president, have the last word in that case? Are you okay with that?
I'm fine with it. I mean, I think they get along great. I think, again, J.D.'s debate performance tonight totally speaks for itself. The reality is this. I mean, I commented on Twitter. I'm watching. Tim Walz is listening to J.D. I think he's voting for us. I mean, he was nodding along in agreement on all of the things that JD was saying, because he actually
Here it
said the
comes.
facts. He called out all of the nonsense, and I think it was an absolute masterclass performance.
And Vance said he agreed with Governor Walz on some things as well. Donald Trump Jr., thank you for...
This is what we've needed. This is what we've needed from the time Donald Trump came down that escalator. This is what we need on a consistent basis. And this type of interviewing and accountability or pushback is not what we get on a consistent basis. Too many times they interview these MAGA nuts and let these MAGA nuts run with their crazed narrative. He talks about Trump derangement syndrome. I told y'all how I feel about that. It's not us who suffers from Trump derangement syndrome. It is MAGA nuts who suffer from Trump derangement syndrome. They have gone crazy over Donald Trump and for Donald Trump. It is them that are out on social media, out in public, doing the crazed things. The media has failed us. For as much as I enjoyed Kaitlyn Collins' interview with Donald Trump Jr., I just want to say the media has failed the American people when it comes to this election and back in 2016. They have failed. They are the ones who have put our democracy in danger. They have worked with the Trump campaign and with the MAGA nuts. I don't know what the negotiation tactics was or is, but they have all worked together to put us all in the current situation that we are in now. And now they want to do this type of pushback. We appreciate it, but y'all are late.